Hi everybody, Remy Rex here and welcome to another YouTube video. So in today's video we're going to be having a look at my top 5 tips for beginners. So for those of you that don't know, I did start a baby account, a new account, probably about March, April time, just after I started streaming. One of the reasons for this, well, there's a couple of reasons for this actually. One of my alliance members, he did it, we thought it'd be funny to do it together, so I jumped on the bandwagon. And the other reason, which is kind of why I'm making this video today, is because when I was streaming and stuff, I kept getting asked questions and tips and help and advice for, you know, new players or lower players and stuff, and I really didn't feel like I could help as well as I could, or give the advice, because so much had changed from when I was in that position nearly 2 years ago. So I thought, well, what better way than to kind of get another account up and running, so it will help me kind of give tips and advice. So here we are in the video. So these are my top 5 tips. Number 1, make the most of the new characters that are out there. Now this is going to sound a bit ridiculous, but I'll show you what I mean. So for example, when I first started playing this account, the Kestrel campaign was just about to start. I did miss out on Silver Surfer. I was a little bit behind on Silver Surfer, so I did miss him. But there was the Kestrel campaign, and then we had the Infinity Watch team launch. So I was super lucky, and I worked super hard to get Kestrel. I spent so many resources, so many cores. I had to refresh the nodes because I could only do the beginner and a little bit of the medium. The hard of the campaign was not unlocked, so I worked really hard to get myself Kestrel. And then also for the events for Fire Level and Moondragon, I also worked really hard to get those events and get them unlocked as well. So I really made the most of the opportunity. And then Gamora is obviously available from the Blitz store, so I brought her. And then I farmed Nebula as well. And I've now got an all-in-one team. So this is my raid team, so I can auto U6 difficulty 5. I can auto with this team. I can use them for lots of places in the Greek raids, and they are my main arena team. And I went from about 300th in arena to top 100 just with that team, and I've not spent any money on this account, so this account is totally free to play. So that's my tip number 1. Whatever characters are coming out, whatever team is coming out when you are playing, absolutely maximize potential, go for it as hard as you can, especially event campaigns, which as long as you've got a couple of characters up, they can be pretty easy to do and make them pretty obtainable. I was also really lucky that I was able to get Minerva from the login calendar as well. So there's been a couple of other unlocks that I've been able to get that have really been able to help me kind of get started in the game. And I think if I hadn't have managed to unlock Kestrel, I probably would have given up on this account. My second top tip, so the second thing, is do make the most of beginner blitz. They actually changed beginner blitz, and I wasn't actually aware of this when I started playing this account, and I'm a little bit annoyed because I did miss out on Hela because of it. So beginner blitz is now up until you hit level 60, which is where you unlock sim blitz. So it's a bit kind of annoying but good at the same time, because you really want to get to sim blitz as quickly as you can, because it does make life easier, it is quicker, and you will get a lot more credits. But also in beginner blitz you can get so many character shards if you put the time in. So if you're able to, you know, once you've got a couple of blitz teams, once you get up to you know, good couple of levels, do make the most of that beginner blitz, and do make sure you plan. So for those of you that remember, we had the Shatterstar Blitz. I did make sure that I didn't hit level 60 until after that blitz, so that I could be in the beginner blitz bracket for it, so I could get as many shards as I could. So do make sure, you know, you really make the most of that beginner blitz, and you try and get as many shards as you can, especially for new characters. New characters are always going to be good because they've been power cracked. So even if they're not, you know, Black Order 2.0 like Infinity Watch was, Secret Avengers are amazing. Okay, I've heard they're brilliant in raids, and that'll be all raids. I know they're made for Doom raids, but you'll probably be able to auto U6 with them. So, you know, new characters, plan your blitzes, and try and do as best you can. Now, top tip number 3, might be a bit controversial here, but don't get hung up on legendaries, okay? There is no need to shoot for legendaries as fast as you can or as quickly as you can. There are so many other characters in the game that are better than the legendaries. So just because you have access to Iron Man whenever you feel like it does not mean you need to farm shield to get Iron Man, okay? Do not farm Kree. Do not go anywhere near Kree, okay? Nick Fury is not going to help you anywhere in the game. The only thing that is good or that comes good out of legendary events is getting the Omega Orb fragments early on. So I am farming for Shuri, which is also Invisible Woman, just to help me kind of get along a little bit. But as you can see from the characters I have selected here, that is the only legendary I'm actively farming at the moment, because there's no other legendary at the moment that's actually going to change how I play the game or that I need in order to do the game. There are better options for all game modes, and actually this selection I have here, these are my Dark Dimension 2 hopefuls that might make the cut. So please do not think that you have to go for all legendaries as soon as possible. I'm not saying they're not good, I'm just saying at this level, until you get going, they're not the most important thing. And the other really annoying thing about legendaries is the teams that you need in order to get them usually aren't that great. So obviously Shield is a bit rubbish, Kree are rubbish, Pimtech are pretty rubbish apart from Ghost, so don't get too hung up. The only ones that are probably really good are X Factor, and maybe X-Force to get Doc Ock as well, but Negasonic is such a late farm that you're not going to be able to get her Black Bolt. Hela's such a late farm, so do not worry too much about the legendaries. Top tip number 4. Okay, so top tip number 4, 2 left to go. Plan for the resources that you need, and this is something that I didn't do first time around with my main account, but as the game has developed, there are so many events out there now to help you with your resources. And something that I found on this account compared to my other account is that I have a real shortage of gold. That is kind of my only bottleneck at the moment that I have. So what am I doing to fix it? I am farming mercs, because once a month I'll be able to get the payday event and I'll be able to get more gold. It's also why I'm working on my city characters a little bit so that I can use them for the daily challenge as well. But I am farming mercs so that I can do that payday event. I am also farming Wakandans just a little bit, because I know with getting Shuri to 5-star means I'll be able to do 5-star Chaos Theory, and that will also help me with my silver and gold promotion credits. Even though they are so end game for me at the moment, I'm just farming them a little bit to help me out. So that is something else that you need to think about. Your bottleneck might be training mats, in which you might want to have a look at farming skill military. Your bottleneck might be gear, so you might want to have a look at doing city characters. Whatever it is that's your bottleneck or where you need resources, plan for that and plan for those events, because they happen once a month and they can be really useful. And then finally, my top tip number 5. Do not worry about spending all your resources, okay? You do not have to spend everything. It is okay to sit on some resources. Now, for those veteran players, if any of you are listening, you will know as good as anybody that this game rewards you for hoarding, for saving up your resources, and for not spending at a luxury. And that's exactly what you need to do and be doing as a newer player. So when you get some Blitz Orbs, you don't necessarily need to spend them all at once. These ones here, wait until you need them. You don't have to just level up a character because you are able to do so. So again, if we come in and have a look at my roster, so I have a couple of characters up here that I'm kind of really focusing on. You can see them here that I've brought to level 65, gear 12, and then a couple more that I'm working on. And then I have so many that are all the way down here that are level 1 that I'm just not doing anything with. Proxima Midnight, I know she's such a great character, she's part of the Black Order team, I got her in a Mega Orb, but I can't do anything with her yet, and skill gear is so short at the moment because of all the other really great characters that are skill. So I'm just leaving her there. I'm not going to put resources into her. just for the sake of it. I don't need her, I'm not going to use her, so it's okay. And the same for everybody else. I'm going to wait until I'm ready. And that might mean that I bring up Sharon Carter and I do the Secret Avengers, even though I'm probably not going to unlock Maria Hill on this account. But I'm just waiting until I unlock the next best character, the next best thing, and then I'll start putting some resources into them. Hopefully it'll be Hela, and then also hopefully that'll mean that if I do unlock Hela, I'll be able to take her up to level 60 straight away and get her geared and level. So it is okay to sit on resources and wait for that next character that you really need to unlock before spreading them out. So that are my 5 top tips. I do appreciate that's just kind of, 5 things off that are a bit random, but they were kind of the 5 things that I thought I've kind of learned the most from having my main account and then to also having this account. I am producing a kind of one-stop shop new player guide infographic that I will link down below in the description. It will be on my Discord, so for those of you that would prefer to have something to refer to that isn't a video, do go and check that out. And I do appreciate that there are a million other new player top tips that I could probably do like a 50 top tip new player video. So these are just my top 5 just to help people get going, but there are lots of beginner guides out there by other content creators, so do check those out if you're looking for anything like in more depth or anything like that. If you do have any other top tips, please put them down below in the comments so we can share them with everybody else. And if you'd like to see any other future content, then please also let me know below. And if you have enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out with making future content and it shows me that I am doing something right. So thank you very much everybody for listening, and we will catch you in the next one.